Brandi Pagano, your Administrative Coordinator, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to our High Desert Center for Spiritual Living Sunday Celebration Service. Woohoo! Sunday is my favorite day of the week because we all get to see each other and be together. So, next is our hugs and handshakes. For the next song, those who would like to participate are welcome to walk around, dance, greet each other, exchange a handshake or a hug, and if you don't feel comfortable touching, you can simply give a namaste to acknowledge the oneness in each other. And you're also welcome to sit in your seat if that feels comfortable for you. And don't forget that our choir loves hugs too, so come and see the choir during our next song and have fun and enjoy. Of the one Spirit in all. Together we are co-creating a world that works for everyone. We teach and embody the science of mind principles to support our core values of love, healing, spiritual growth, oneness, abundance, service, and diversity. Welcome home. And thank you to everyone joining us online today as well. We are so happy that you're here. And please say hello in the chat box and let us know how you're doing and where you're watching from. Thank you. Now I invite everyone to please join me in reading the opening community affirmation. It's inside your program on the left-hand side and also up on your monitors. And I know after all that fun and dancing, I need a breath. So I invite you all to close your eyes and just take this moment, breathing in and releasing that. We brought it up. We're celebrating, having a good time. That's what it's all about. And now as we say these words, may we embody them as our own personal truth. Taking another breath in. Letting that go. I believe in one power, one living spirit, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. I believe that spirit expresses through me and is the unity of all life. I believe that all thought is creative and that how I choose to think creates my personal experience. And so it is. Is there anyone joining us for the very first time today? If so, please raise your hand so we can welcome you. I do have a couple of announcements to share with you. You may or may not know, but there's a welcome packet at the welcome table. Did you get that yet? Okay, great. So there's lots of goodies in there. And then on the back side of your program, you can see we have a texting service. You are more than welcome to text JOIN, that's JOIN, to the number up on your screen or up on the program. And then we also have a dial and inspiration line, and that number is also up on there and on the back of your program as well. So welcome. Thank you for bringing your consciousness with you today. And I already said that. So now we're on to announcements. This is our time to share our HDCSL announcements, and information regarding any upcoming events are in your program each week on the little colored insert. And there's also daily affirmations to use on the back side of your insert, so you are welcome to take that home with you to use throughout the week. And current events happening at our center can also be found online through our social media accounts on Facebook and Instagram. And we also have a monthly calendar up on our website as well. And again, you can find all that information on the back side of your program or up on the monitors, or call me in the office and I'll help you find them. Today, after service, we have our monthly board meeting. All are welcome to stay. And we are serving pizza and salad. So thank you to our amazing board and sponsors for serving lunch today. Thank you. And now I invite Jan to come up to speak about our red, white, and blue barbecue. Let's give it up for Jason.
It's next Saturday, July 22nd from noon to 5. You can sign up and pay in the bookstore today after service, and the cost for each person is $25. It is $45 a couple, so if you know somebody you want to bring along, save a little bit of money there. We're going to have food, games, line dancing, and so much fun. When you sign up, make sure to let us know if you're going to have meat or vegetarian options. We have bought for both. Please, if you are able to pay, please do so today. And if you're not, please just let us know so we know how many we're going to shop for this week. Also, you can pay throughout the week during office hours here at the center. So please come on out. It's going to be a really great time. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. I know we're really looking forward to that event. It's going to be great. The fourth Sunday of each month is a special theme Sunday. So next Sunday, which is July 23rd, we have hippie theme. Woo-hoo! So please feel free to express yourself any way that you feel called to do so. And we also have Reverend Marnie as our guest speaker, so that's going to be really exciting. Thursday, July 27th, we have Metaphysical Movie Night. Woo, it's up on the monitors. Thank you, Nick. From 6 to 8:30. For a showing of What the Bleep. So if you are interested to see what that is, you can Google it, you can look it up on YouTube and see a trailer if you'd like. But anyway, the Rainbow Alliance team will be here serving popcorn and showing What the Bleep. So come for that on Thursday, July 22nd. And now, I have a super special announcement. It's my favorite of all. Our 19th semi-annual Healthy Spirit Fair is back. Saturday, September 23rd. I think that might be the first day of fall. I'm not sure. But anyway, September 23rd, 2023 has a great ring to it, so that's what we're doing. This week I will be setting up the event pages on Facebook, Meetup, and what's the other one? Oh, Eventbrite, and contacting all of our vendors. So if you know somebody that didn't get to participate at our last Healthy Spirit Fair in April as a vendor, please reach out to them, give them my contact number, tell them to contact me here at the office, and flyers will be ready soon for that, so look out for that. And we're also looking for food vendors. We had a couple of food vendors last Healthy Spirit Fair in April, and it worked out really well, so we're going to be inviting more food vendors for outside, because the idea is, who wants to be hungry, right? While you're shopping and having all these amazing experiences, so we want to be able to welcome everybody and have them stay. So, I'm also looking for volunteers to help with sharing flyers, posting on social media accounts, and also sharing this information in your personal private communities as well. So if you're interested in that, please see me. We had such a great time, like I said, the last Healthy Spirit Fair in April. People are still talking about it, so it's back. And thank you, Judy, for all of your help, support, assistance. We could not do that without you. So let's give it up for Judy and all of our amazing volunteers that support us and all the way that you do. And I know I could not have done that without all of you, so thank you. And as a reminder, please stop by the concierge table on Sundays or reach out to the office throughout the week if you have any questions on any events or classes or anything happening here at our center. And now, that is it for announcements. Please join me in welcoming our practitioner of the day, Frank St. Clair.
Good morning. She's hot, right? I'm Frank St. Clair, and I'm a practitioner for the day. Right now, I'd like to invite you to read Dr. Ernest Holmes' promises. You'll find up here on the monitors, maybe also in the front of your program. And if you would join me in reading this together. I keep the promise that I have made myself to affirm in this moment that I am abundant, healthy, strong, and happy. I keep the intention to daily speak this truth to my inner soul, telling it that it is wonderful and marvelous, that it is one with the great cause of life, truth, power, and action. I whisper these things into my soul until it breaks forth into songs of joy with the realization of its limitless possibilities. I assure my soul. Now we'll have a moment of contemplation. Music from Chris. That is one of the most beautiful meditations you can do. Recommend every night before you go to sleep. Absolutely. Paula Green will now join me for lighting the flames of faith. We perform the Flames of Faith ceremony to provide universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all beings, come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. The unity candle represents the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the first candle for the shamanic tradition, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, a way of primal spirituality. We light the second candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the third candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalist religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle, acknowledging all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light the 10th candle for inclusivity, affirming that all are welcome here. And as we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of loved ones, knowing that they have the experience of Spirit's eternal love. And so it is. If you'll join me now in prayer. We recognize the divine Spirit, known by many names, as the physical and actual presence of love, expressing as peace and joy, humor, and we consciously identify ourselves with and recognize ourselves as spiritual beings. We are lights from that divine fire. And as we go to prayer now, I ask that you consciously join me in moving to that place within yourselves, that place where you communicate with Spirit. On a warm day like today, that might be something that you're putting your feet into a cold mountain stream or into the ocean waters. But this is a place where you recognize your divine heritage. You are a spark from that divine fire. And each day we take a few moments to disconnect from the hustle and bustle of the everyday world and to quietly contemplate our divine heritage as the animating force of our physical, mental, and emotional bodies. The very breath we breathe connects us with divine Spirit. we take this obligation freely and seriously every day to remind ourselves that we are the dude or the dudette that abides in spirit. We do this daily to animate ourselves in mind, of thought, of speech, of physical action, to be a blessing in the world, in our families, and to ourselves. So keeping this in mind and doing the practice daily, using the beautiful meditation we just heard from Chris, we identify as spirit, and we move forth into the world as a shining light of love, peace, and joy. And so it is, so we are, and we all shall be. Amen. And our speaker today, who needs no introduction, Reverend Michael.
No introduction, and I think that spirit needs no introduction, right? But we're always waiting. Well, I don't know if you're always waiting. That's not mine to know. I know often I'm waiting for spirit to show up. And I'm looking for signs, and I'm looking for signposts, and I'm looking for vibrations. And I'm looking for connection. And that connection is with my soul within, and that soul energy, it's always soaring. You know, we talk about the soul is stirring. The soul is moving. The soul is questioning. And yet what I know about myself, and I'm knowing it more and more and more because I'm feeling it, I'm being it, and I'm seeing it, and I'm living it, is that soul is soaring. It's always soaring. And if I'm not soaring, then I'm not connected with that energy of source which is flowing in, as, and through me, around me, above me, below me. It's there, and it is soaring. And if I'm not soaring in all areas of my life, if I am not financially prospering, if I am not in a soaring and growing relationship, well, I think we're soaring. I know we're growing, so I'll take one attitude with Ross, but we're in movement. We're moving toward better relationship. We're communicating. We're connecting with each other, and we're aware of that, the importance of connecting with that soaring sense of spirit within us. One of the ways spirit soars. One of the multi-faceted ways spirit soars is through song and through music. And I heard last night you had a fabulous karaoke night, and how could you not have a fabulous karaoke night? And I heard that people who were there and people came, they presenced a connection. They presenced that connection with music that brought them into that soaring presence of their soul, that brought them into song. And so, a soaring connection of this center. One of the things in my board interview was, what's important to you? And I said, for our CSL centers to talk to each other, nobody's talking to each other, nobody plays together, nobody shares events together. And what's really important for me is that these centers connect. You know, it's better together. It's better together. And so, just knowing there's connection happening. There's connection happening between these centers. And here's how that energy, it's all energy, it's all consciousness. And here's how the consciousness and the energy of this center and this music program and this choir is affecting other centers. We had a speaker named George Melton came and did a talk for LGBTQ conversations. And I watched him during service, and Chris was singing one of the songs he wrote, that CSL and meditation, an original song. George was smiling ear to ear. He was smiling ear to ear. And George, I've been told, I'm assuming this is true, came up and asked Chris if he could use that song at the Palm Springs Center, where I'm still a staff minister. So here's how this energy works. Here's that soaring of spirit. George's spirit was soaring because of Chris's music. George was ear to ear. Oh my God, that science of mine, that's the energy, that's the spirit, and I want to bring that to Palm Springs. So we're at a 4th of July Rainbow Alliance party for CSL Palm Springs. George comes up to me. Here's how this stuff works, Chris. Here's how this stuff works. Here's how this stuff works, Michael. George comes up to me and said, I went back to the Palm Springs Center. We haven't had a live choir in 5 years because it didn't assemble. I went back and I said, the energy is so phenomenal at High Desert, their music program, their choir, their music director. We have to get a choir going, and here's the first song we're going to sing, and it was Chris's song. So last Sunday, they had a meeting for the choir. They had 10 people show up for their choir. They are starting a live music program. They're bringing their choir back. They're going to be soaring with Chris's song and soaring with live music. When we say yes to Spirit, and people ask us to share our Spirit, and we say yes, yes of all Spirit, and no doesn't grow, and that's the way it works. So I thank you for enlivening the music program, enlivens our Sunday service. It's now going to be enlivening the Palm Springs Sunday service, and it's just beginning. We're going to be connecting with the other centers. We have connecting events that I'm working on that we'll find out if we have time in the calendar, so we will be joining with the other CSL centers within about 3 hours of us. We have about 5 of them. We will be connecting with them in events. We'll be going to their events. They'll be coming to our events, and that was one of my intentions. And I didn't know how to bring it about, and I didn't have to know how to bring it about. I just had to invite people from Palm Springs to give a talk, and now they went back and they've got a live choir. So I want you to know with me, it's all energy, it's all consciousness, it's all that soaring of spirit. And I invite you to know with me, we are one. We are one in love, we are one in harmony, we are one in peace. Until someone cuts us off in traffic on the freeway. Someone cuts in front of us in the supermarket line when we're in a hurry, and our cart was clearly heading there first. And it's not fair until someone dents our brand new 3-day-old car and dents the fender. And then we're not always in that harmony, in that oneness. Then we go into, we're not one anymore, we're two. Right? We're not one, we're two. And the idea is not two, but one. And so what we tend to do is we tend to come out reactively swinging, right? We put on our boxing gloves and we start swinging, and we're reactively swinging instead of not putting on the boxing gloves, putting away the boxing gloves, and that we get to come out being, and we get to come out singing, and we get to come out being present. So for many of us, I include myself in this, but I will absolutely share, this is far less than it used to be. You know, I think we're often looking for more. And when we are aware that there's a lot of power in the lessening of things coming up, the lessening of our being in a hurry, the lessening of our having to own that lane in the freeway, the lessening of having to be the first one in the supermarket line, when we come to a lessening, well, in the lessening, there's a lesson. And maybe the lesson is lessening. And so I invite all of us to take a look at how many of us, in how many ways, is every day a boxing day? How many of us, for every day is a boxing day? Right? We're putting on our gloves, we're duking it out with somebody. And as we stay boxed up, in the walk, and the talk, and the boundaries of the quadrants of our limiting beliefs, we don't grow. We don't grow. The more we stay bound up in the boxes of our beliefs, the less we grow. And so it's all about the boxes of our beliefs, and let's see if this goes perfect. Nick is going, yay, in the back there. Yes. So we're evolving, Spirit's evolving, and you know what it's always about is our opening to the channel, our opening to that trusting that Spirit will perfect everything that seems to be an imperfection. So Spirit is flowing, and it's beautiful. So how many of us put on the boxing gloves in this corner, still undefeated, Henry's long-held belief system? I'm not going to move out of the quadrant of my belief. I'm owning this corner. I'm owning this position. I'm owning this lane in the freeway. I'm owning that I'm right. I'm owning that I'm right. You know, and I come to realize in life that I can be right or I can be happy. I can be right or I can be happy. I'm choosing happy a lot more. And I'm lessening up on the need to be right. And as I lessen up on the need to be right, my lesson is in lightening up that I'm happier more. So it's not just to be about happying more, it's about lessening up on the things that don't lighten us up. And so when we lighten up and we brighten up and we show up in that soaring sense of spirit, which is that ever-presence of light and soaring energy that takes us on to flight into a consciousness beyond anything we know, all of a sudden there's more happiness, but it came out of the lessening of the things we don't want. Lessen up on what you don't want. Lighten up on what you don't want. Move out of the boxing rings in the corner and the quadrants of your belief. Stop taking ownership of that corner. Move out of the corner and come into that oneness of the olive light. Bring up visit all 4 quadrants, financial prosperity, physical health, spiritual connection, co-creative adventures. Those are the 4 quadrants. When I lock myself into one quadrant, I miss all of the 4 quadrants, and when I bring all of the 4 quadrants presence, oh boy, does the quality of my life go up. Oh boy, does the quality of my life go up. I'm coming to realize that my tongue set creates the landscape of my life. I'm coming to recognize I don't get what I want. I get what I'm becoming. And I'm coming to receptively know the atlas of my heart is the best map for my life. How many people want to offer us the map for life? Our parents, our brothers, our sisters, our government, our teachers, all doing their best, but they're offering us their map for life. And when you follow their map, what do you get in kindergarten? A gold star because you followed the map of the way it was supposed to be done. You colored the green leaves on the tree and the brown on the trunk. I drew brown leaves on a tree in kindergarten. I put green on the trunk and I was criticized for it. I drew outside the lines, not because I was trying to be a rebel, but because I'm not a neat drawer. You cannot read my handwriting. Trust me. It wasn't about being contentious. It wasn't about being confrontational. It was about being conscious with that spirit within me to let me express the way I express. And if my handwriting isn't the way I express, then I can express through what's written on my heart. And I'm a lot better at expressing what's written in my heart than I am what I write in hand notes. And I don't need a gold star for what's written in my heart. And you don't need a gold star for what's written in your heart. And you don't need a gold star for anything. You don't need a gold star from anything. When I follow the atlas of my heart, I find that I'm at peace with myself. The more I follow the atlas of my heart, the more I'm at peace with myself. Forrest Gump, I love movies. Forrest Gump said this about the map of life. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Well, my mother was kind of a control freak, wonderful person, kind of type A control freak. So she insisted on having Witness Samplers chocolates for every Christmas and every birthday and every April. Because if you know the Witness Sampler box, you open up the lid and there's a map of the chocolates in there. Layer 1 and layer 2. It's, the coconut cream and the orange cream and the chocolate covered cherry. And it's right there on the map. And every Christmas, forever and ever, and every holiday, every birthday, she wanted a Witness Sampler, and she got her Witness Sampler, and she went to her favorite pieces because she knew by the map where they were. And I was thinking when I was writing this talk, if she was here today, I'd give her a Witness Sampler, and I'd change the pieces before I gave it to her. I would change the pieces. And if Science of Mind does anything, and if we do anything here today for you, I hope we change the pieces of the map of your consciousness. I hope we change the pieces of the map of your consciousness so you have no idea that you know where you are. Because it's the knowing where we are that creates so much trouble. Because when we know where we are, and we tell people where we are, then they tell us where we are, and then we're stuck where we are. We're stuck in the map of the world instead of in the map of the atlas of our heart. And so I hope you leave here totally lost today. Yeah? I hope you have no idea where you are, or who you are, or what you're becoming. But I hope you know that you're living in this remarkable possibility of consciousness, of that soaringness of spirit that sings on karaoke night, that sings in service, that sings through you. I don't care about your handwriting. I care about spirit soaring. Let your spirit soar. That's the glory. That's the goodness. That's the wonder of this teaching. And to let spirit soar, you got to unbind it and unbound it. You got to let it be what it wants to be. You gotta let it see what it wants to see. You gotta let it hear what it wants to hear. And you gotta let it fly when it wants to fly. So if we can have our kite flyers in place, please. Those who are flying a kite, let me put it to you this way, go fly a kite. So if we have our kite flyers in place, Chris and I are going to give this a shot. So kite flyers ready, set.
Wait.
We have a delay in our kite flyers.
Get together over there.
All right, we have our kite flyers assembled. We have them backstage. We have them in the green room. We have them getting in place. So kite flyers, I want you to get in touch with your spirit. I want you to get in touch with that atlas of your heart. And I want you to have an absolute blast as you take flight on the wings of your kite. Here we go. Let's go fly a kite up to the highest height. Let's go fly a kite and send it soaring up through the atmosphere, up where the air is clear. Oh, let's go fly a kite. Send it going up there. All at once you're right over there. You can dance on the breeze over houses and trees with your fists holding tight to the string of your kite. Oh, 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 let's go fly a kite up to the highest height. Let's go fly a kite and send it soaring up through the atmosphere, up where the air is clear. Oh, let's go fly a kite. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Kite Flyers. Thank you, Science and Mind. Thank you, my HDCSL. So I want you to notice this. We're in Mary Morrissey's PP3 class, and it's about noticing what you're noticing, right? And so have any of you noticed there's no adult supervision here today? Yay! Yay! Gosh, that adult supervision where you need a gold star and you gotta follow somebody else's map rather than the atlas of your heart, and that's soaring sense of your spirit. You know, we can take flight on the kite of our dreams, and that's the beginning of where life becomes anew. When we take flight on the kite of our dreams, that's where life begins anew. That's a new dawn, that's a new day, that's a new way, that's a new sense of being and seeing and becoming. As we become aware of the new awareness of waking to the quantum within. 2 out of 2. So our talk title is Walking the Quad. And it's walking beyond that quad of the boxing ring where we're stuck. Try another quad. Try another quad. Try another quad. Try on. There's so many quads of consciousness. Try on a new quad of consciousness until you find one that lets you soar. Step out of that boxing ring of your beliefs. You know, if you find yourself in the boxing ring of your beliefs, boom, 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 you know who's getting punched? Not the world. Yourself. It boomerangs back on you. That's the thing about the boxing ring of our beliefs. We're the ones against the rope. Nobody put us there. Nobody put us in that ring. Nobody told us we had to take a punch. You know, but not enough people told us we didn't have to swing out, that we could sing out. We don't hear enough in life that it's not about swinging out, it's about singing out from that soaring sense in your spirit. You know, if someone gives you a box of chocolates with a map on the lid, do yourself a favor, don't read the map. And if someone tells you not to fly the kite of your dreams, fly your quantum kite anyway. Fly that kite wherever you want. Fly whatever color kite you want, whatever shape of kite you want, whatever size of kite you want. Put on whatever tail you want on that kite. We had tails for these kites that are 20 feet long, and Rod said, I don't think that's going to work, so we didn't put the kites on the tails because some of them were 19 feet long. You know, with that, the tail of your kite really stabilizes us, and so many of us don't have those rudders. Our rudders aren't quite in place, or if they're in place, that rudder of the soul that guides that soul into that presence and that loving energy that we choose to be, that allows that energy to soar, but it allows it to soar in purpose and passion and focus. That's the rudder. So find your rudder. Find your rudder. Let the Spirit soar, but find that rudder. Let's direct that to a higher purpose, to a higher good, to a loving kindness. And so here's a story about moving to a higher kite. We had a dragonfly kite back there. Remember how you saw the dragonfly kite? That was my favorite kite. I wanted to fly that today, the dragonfly kite. So, of course, as Spirit would have it, there's a story about a dragonfly. A dragonfly who lets his spirit fly. It's called Water Bugs and Dragonflies. Once in a pond, under the lily pads, there lived a water beetle in a community of water beetles. They lived a simple life with few disturbances. Once in a while, sadness would come to the community when one of their fellow beetles would climb the stem of the lily pad and would not be seen again. They knew when this happened, their friend was gone forever. Then one day, one little beetle felt an irresistible urge to climb up the stem of that lily pad to see what was beyond. However, he was determined he would not leave forever. He would come back and tell his friends what he found at the top. When he reached the top and he climbed out of the water onto the surface of this lily pad, he was so tired and the sun was so warm, he decided to take a nap. As he slept, his body changed. And when he woke up, he had turned into a beautiful blue-tailed dragonfly with broad wings and a slender body designed for flying. So fly he did. And as he soared, he saw the beauty of a whole new world and a far superior way of life for what he'd ever known before. Then he remembered her beetle friends and how they thought he was gone forever. He wanted to go back to tell them that he was now more alive than he had ever been before. Then he understood he could not go back and tell his friends because his winged body would not allow him to go back under the water. He came to understand that their time too would come when they too would know what he now knew in the presence of this moment. So he raised the split wings and flew off into his joyous new life. He went soaring on that sense of spirit that taught him to climb up that stem to the great unknown beyond, to release what he knew, to let go of the map of the world he knew, and enter into that atlas of his heart and that sense of that spirit, that soaring spirit within. And he took flight on his wings into a whole new world of adventures that he never knew about, never saw, never was taught about, because his community didn't know about. We can take flight on the quantum kite of our dreams. We can take flight on the quantum kite of our consciousness. We can take flight on the quantum kite of knowing that God's in the quad. And I've read this story before, and it's a poem, and it's actually a limerick, an Irish limerick, and it's about God's in all the quads. He's in your creative quad. He's in your physical well-being quad. He's in your spiritual quad. He's in your mental quad. God's in the quad. God's in the quad. We're just not aware of it. We're in boxing in our beliefs. We're in our beliefs. We're not aware that God's in the quad, right? When we're following somebody else's map, we're not aware that God's in our quad in a way that he's not in anybody else's quad. Why the heck would you want to follow a map to somebody else's God? Why the heck would you want to follow a map to somebody else's co-creative source? Why the heck would you want to follow a map? Somebody gives you a map, tear it up. It's called God in the quad. There was a young man who said, God must find it exceedingly odd to think that the tree should continue to be when there's no one about in the quad. Reply, dear sir, your astonishment's odd. I'm always about in the quad. And that's why the tree will continue to be, since observed by yours faithfully, God. God's always about in the quad. God's always observing us. God's always loving us. God's always supporting us. God's always caring for us and holding us and guiding us and gifting us. To the awareness of that sense of that soaring spirit within, and spirit is saying, come, soar with that spirit consciousness, with that heightened consciousness, with that awareness of knowing beyond knowing, and let go of that need to know and become one with the seed of glowing. Let your seed of glowing become your seed of becoming. Become that seed of going. Become that seed of lightness. Become that seed of kindness and compassion and caring. There's a woman named Genevieve Durand. I don't know how many of you know her. And she wrote a book called Your Invisible Power. Anybody know Your Invisible Power, Genevieve Durand? Well, and Nick, if you can, yeah, there we go. So she came up with this concept of weaving the quadrants. Wait a minute, let's not have separate quadrants, let's weave them together. And she did, she wove them together in consciousness. She came to find what I call her spiritual address of that soaring spirit. And she didn't let anybody tell her what to do. Her husband left her a map. He passed away and he left her a map, and his map was that he left her a financial stipend that was just enough for her to get by on, but not to get in trouble with. So she had her rent taken care of, and she had her food taken care of. It was enough to survive, but it was not enough to be alive. You know, if you're on fixed income, who fixed it? Who fixed it? Unfix it. Unlimited. Unbounded. Do you know how many trillions of dollars are out there? Trillions and trillions and trillions. No longer billions. We now got trillions. And if you're not getting your fair share, step up and let your spirit fly into that worthiness of abundance. I'd be very happy with $1 billion, but now the new number is $1 trillion. You know, whatever makes you happy. Find your number. Image that number. Treat and move your feet. And she wanted a number of what was $2,000 because she wanted to study with Thomas Trower. Because she felt he knew something that she didn't know. She was bound into the map of all these containments of society. And she came to the awareness that her mind was a center of divine operation. It was her mind. She was the center. She was it. And she sensed it and she felt it. And so she looked at her small pension one day and said, read some of that Thomas Trower and consciousness. She said, I want to study with that man in England. And she wrote to him and said, I want to study with you. And he said, I only accept very few students. And I will accept you on the condition that you can answer this one question. It is on the answering of this one question correctly that you will get to study with me or not. And he sent her a diagram of a fort. And it was a fort that was the same. The walls were the same height, every wall. The length of each wall was the same height, same length, and it was a box. What are we talking about? Boxes. And she got stuck in the box of that paradigm. It's a box. What's the truth about this box? And she kept thinking for 2 or 3 months, and he said, the deadline, you got it. It had a couple weeks to go. The box. What is it about boxes? What is it about boxes that he wants me to see so I can be with him and study with him? She went to bed one night and she let go of her thinking about seeing a box, and she raised above the box in her dream. She went soaring in her dream. She went soaring above that box. And when she went soaring in her dream and became one with that connection with that soaring spirit, she looked down on the box and said, oh my gosh, it's not a box, it's a cube. It's the same size and height and length and width and the top and the bottom. And she saw the box as a cube. And when we step out of the boxing rings of our beliefs, we see all of these 4 quadrants as amazing quadrants of spirit. And we separate from that limited belief, and we unite with that oneness of belief that we are not 2, we are 1. And she became 1, not 2. She let go of her logical thinking, and she saw the cube, and she said, I got it. And she knew she got it. She felt it. She believed it. She saw it. And she woke up the next morning, and she sent him a cable and said, it's not a box. It's a cube. And the thing about a cube is the same size whatever angle you approach it at. Whatever belief you come at a cube from, whatever vision you come at a cube from, whatever intention you come at a cube from, that cube does not change. It's a cube. And he said, you got it. And he said, that's the truth of the oneness of our spiritual connection. No matter what angle you come at it, truth is always true. That truth that we're 1 and not 2 is always true. Whatever angle you come at spiritual connection, whatever angle you come at that spiritual soaringness with, that's the truth. It's always there. It's always present. And the present we give ourselves is stepping out of that boxing ring of our beliefs, stepping out of looking at a box as a box, and letting ourselves soar in a dream, soar in consciousness, soar in awareness, so we don't see a box, we see a cube, and then that cube vanishes into just the presence of consciousness. Even that shape dissolves. And so she got it, and he said, my fee is $2,000, and this was in 1920. That's the equivalent of $20,000 today. She said, I have a small stipend. How can I do this? And she said, and she got it. And here's what happens when you get it, you be it. You stop talking about it. You start seeing it. And when you start seeing it, you start being it. And when you be it, you become it. And what she became was the absolute oneness of spirit, knowing that everything is always provided. She got the answer to a difficult question, and she stepped into that beingness of herself that she felt when her spirit soared in her dream, and she said, I'm going to London to study Thomas Troward. And she asked her trustee, can I have some money? He said, no, it's stipulated you can't. She didn't take the no. She got enough money for the steamship ticket she got on that boat, and she went to England, and on the way to England, she kept writing down, Spirit always provides, Spirit always provides, Spirit always provides. $2,000 is not a limit. $2,000 is not a box. $2,000 is not a queue. $2,000 is not a boundary. She got off the ship, and her trustee wired her and said, you know, I think your husband will want you to be on this wonderful adventure, and even if he doesn't, I want you to be on this wonderful adventure because I can't believe you got on a boat not knowing how it was going to wind up. And he gave her the $2,000 to study with Troward. She got off the boat and had a cable. The trustee said, I'm giving you the $2,000 with the proviso that you keep me in touch and you share with me every week. You send me a cable as to what you're experiencing. Somebody gives you a box of chocolates for the map. Don't look at the map. Somebody gives you a gold star because you followed their map. Rip up the map. Follow the atlas of your heart. Alfred Light Tennyson says this, come, my friends, it's not too late to seek a newer world. Stop waiting. You know, I feel that in the seeking we come to a new way of seeing, being, and becoming, and then we become the spiritual address where we're the quantum of love. That's the spiritual address we're all looking for, but that's the spiritual address we are. That's the spiritual address of here and now. You know, primarily love is the consciousness of our science of mind teaching. If it's not your consciousness, what are you doing here? No, I think we're here, all of us, to expand that, right? To let go of our limitations and step into the liberation and the liberty of that consciousness of our science of mind teaching, the consciousness of our science of mind centers, and the consciousness of the life we choose to live. You know, it's perfect. It's all consciousness. That's where we began. It's all consciousness. The consciousness of music that lets our spirit soar. The consciousness of flying a kite that lets our spirit soar. The consciousness of being present is going to be branded. The consciousness of being present with her heart's desire. Her heart's desire when it came to manifest. She didn't have to know how. And so, these are the people of our teaching. It's all consciousness, and it's all the consciousness of love. Simple. Lesson ended. Don't need to take any more classes here. Don't need to come here anymore. It's all consciousness. It's all love. We'd love it if you keep coming, but it's all love. And here's the way they said it. Einstein said, everything is energy. It's all one energy. It's not two energies. It's not the boxing energy. It's a bountiful energy of peace and harmony and love. Einstein said it's all energy. And Emma Curtis Hopkins, one of our teachers, who is 20% of our teaching is based on Hopkins, and Hopkins said, I am that I am. That's Emma Curtis Hopkins. You don't take the class. Emma Curtis says, I am that I am. And she's, I am that I am of that energy. What Genevieve Baron said, I am that I am of that energy. I'm going to do this remarkable journey in consciousness. And then Ernest Holmes said, it's all love. It's all energy. I am that energy. The energy is love. I am the energy of love. I am the spirit soaring of love. That spirit's song, that spirit's present, that spirit's gift. Is it soaring? Is it soaring? Because it is soaring. And when we align with that and that knowing that it's soaring, then we pitch our tail to the kite of that soaring spirit that's already flying, and we fly along with it. Spirit will carry us with it. And so, our final slide, and I've edited this, and my consciousness said I shouldn't have, but I did, because I'm told my talk's been long. So we will go with the abbreviated version of this, and now you can read this online. It's called The Hill We Climb. It's from Amanda Gorman, and she read it on Inauguration Day. And it's about her spirit soaring. It didn't matter if she was black or white or rich or poor or where she came from or one parent. Her spirit told her to soar. And she went in on Inauguration Day and she soared. And she read this, and it's her poem, The Hill We Climb. And I invite you to hear this from her heart. When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade. The loss we carry, a sea we must forever wade. We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned the quiet isn't always peace, and the norms and notions of what just isn't always justice. It isn't always justice. And yet the dawn is ours before we knew it. And somehow we do it. Somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken but simply unfinished. And yes, we are far from polished and we are far from pristine, but that doesn't mean we're striving to form a union that is perfect. We're striving to forge a union with purpose. And in Science of Mind, we're striving to serve a life with purpose. To compose a country committed to all cultures, all core colors, all characters, and all conditions of man. And so we lift our gazes not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first, we must put our differences aside. We lay down our arms so we can reach out in open arms to one another. We did not feel prepared to be the heirs of such a terrifying hour as this. But within it, within that terrifying hour, we found that power of spirit within us, and we became to author a new chapter, to offer new hope and laughter to ourselves. So once we asked, how could we possibly prevail over catastrophe? We now assert, how could catastrophe ever possibly prevail over us as we come to know who we are? We will not march back to what we was, but move to what shall be. But one thing is certain, if we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright. We will rebuild, we will reconcile, we will recover in every known nook of our nation and our corner of our country and ourselves. Our people, diverse and beautiful, will emerge, battered yet beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade of flame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it, for there is always light if they're brave enough to see it and to be it and to become it. And our final slide, thank you, Amanda. It's our today's affirmation, and I invite you to say this with me. I will say it first, and then I invite you to say it with me. The quantum of my love empowers the quality of my life. I invite you to say that with me. The quantum of my love empowers the quality of my life. And again, the quantum of my love empowers the quality of my life. And once more, the quantum of my love empowers the quality of my life. If only we step out of the boxing rings of our beliefs, if only we choose to become brave enough to fly the flight of the consciousness of our dreams, if only we choose to be brave enough to not follow the map of others, but to follow the map of the atlas of our heart. This week I invite us all to let our if-onlys fall away. I'd have flown my kite if only. I'd have lived my life if only. I'd have followed the atlas of my heart if only. So this week I invite us to let all of our if-onlys fall away and to make welcome the dawns of a new light, a new day, a new way of seeing, being, and becoming, the way of the quantum of the consciousness of love. And so until we meet again, be well, stay conscious, namaste, and go fly a kite.
Let the choir come up. We have a song for you now.
so much. Thank you, choir. Thank you, Reverend Michael, for that amazing, amazing talk. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, everyone, for being here. This is now our giving time. Please take a moment to join me in appreciation for this beautiful community and our science of mind philosophy. We know we live in an abundant universe. There is always more than enough to share and to spare. We use this time to open up that flow of abundance and circulate that energy with gratitude and love. Because we appreciate you and your contributions, we make it easy for you to give. In addition to placing your offering in the basket today, there are various ways that you can contribute to our center. You can use the Vanco app on your smartphone or tablet. You can also visit our website at high-desertcsl.org. To make a donation, select the donate button. You may also drop off your donation throughout the week or send it in by mail. Thank you so much. We appreciate you for supporting this center in all the ways that you do. Because of you, this service continues to be possible, so thank you so much. And now I invite our lovely ushers to come forward, please. Thank you for your service today. And I invite everyone to please join me in reading aloud our Declaration of Affirmative Giving, located inside your program on the left-hand side, also up on your monitors. Thank you, Nicholas. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of this spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. Take it away, Chris.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me. Gratitude behind me. Gratitude to the left of me. Gratitude to the right of me. Gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 I'm so grateful.
So, in the groundedness of things, in the groundedness of worldly things, in the groundedness of the way of our giving, when we come to give from that groundedness of knowing that that gift of spirit soaring is ever present. It's soaring in our finances. It is soaring in our physical well-being. It is soaring in our co-creativity with spirit. And it is soaring in every aspect, every quantum, every quadrant, every quality of our life. And the quality of abundance is the quality that shines forth, that shines its lightness, its brightness, and its oneness right here and now. That quality of abundance, that quality of celebration, that quality of consciousness expanding. We are so grateful for your energy today. Thank you so, so much for your energy. Thank you so, so much for your presence. And thank you for sharing your energy through your financial gifts, which will allow this center to expand its energy, to grow its consciousness into that super consciousness beyond the walls of the center, beyond the walls of our beliefs, into that oneness of the bounty and the beauty and the blessing of spirit, which is soaring here today, which is soaring through our contributions, which is soaring in our community room in a few moments. And I invite you to soar with that consciousness of the love that you are today beyond these walls. Soar in your car. Stay within the speed limit. Soar within your car. Soar on the way home. Soar when you enter your home. Soar when you call someone on a phone and connect with them in a way you haven't connected with them in a long, long time. But mostly soar this very day in the consciousness of the love that you are. Thank you for your gift. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your consciousness.
Thank you so much, ushers, for your service today. And thank you, Reverend Michael, for that amazing blessing. And I just want to let you guys know it is 11:11, and a lot of us like to celebrate divine time 11:11, so I thought I'd put that out there. Practitioners, would you please stand where you are, please? Including Tommy. And please join me in welcoming our newest practitioner, Tommy. Thank you so much for joining our amazing HDCSL practitioner team. Welcome. It is such a pleasure to have you join our team, and I just love you already. Thank you. Every time I see you, I just get so happy. So anyway, we are happy to have you. And thank you so much for your service here, there, everywhere, today, every day. You may be seated. Thank you. Our practitioners' phone numbers are on the back side of your program, so please reach out to one of our experienced licensed practitioners for prayer, especially if you are going through any challenges in your life. They are here to know the truth for you and with you and to help assist you through any of those processes. We also have a prayer request box in the garden room right next to the sanctuary doors under the picture of our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes. This box is checked regularly by our practitioner team, so if you have anything that you would like prayer for, you can put a request in that box and they will connect with you. You can also connect with the practitioners by putting in a prayer request through the office, through email, any of the ways that you want to do that, and they will receive that message. Thank you to everyone who has joined us in person today. It's so lovely to see you all, and thank you to those who are joining us online. We will see you next Sunday, July 23rd, for our hippie-themed HDCSL celebration service with guest minister, Reverend Marty. So please join us for our board meeting with pizza and salad, and have a great week, everyone. Thank you so much. Let us all join up, circle up for the God Makes Me Want to Sing song. Thank you. Have a great week.